Welcome back to the Carbonyl Dota channel. I am Carbonyl Dota, and if you're watching this is your first video that you've been watching from me in quite a while. I've been on a little hiatus. Honestly, I've not been playing much, but I've been playing a little bit recently, and thought I'd, ease back into this by just giving you guys kind of a basic support perspective, decision-making video. We're going to go over this game I just played. Just the important parts. We skipped the early game, which was a little chaotic. I've got 4 assists, died 4 times in my lane. PL died once. Like, a lot of these kills have been in my lane. It's me and PL versus this Shaman Weaver. But we're just going to walk through some of the decisions that we make this game. I was on the mic a lot, just telling my teammates what I thought we should do. Nobody else was really talking, but they seemed to be kind of willing to listen to what I had to say. So we'll walk through some of the decisions we made, what worked out, what didn't. And we'll see if we can teach you guys how to make some decisions like this yourself in your own games. So the first thing I want to talk about when I'm starting the video here is that I am hanging around this lane a super long time because I want to hit level 6, which I guess you can't see. But here I'm like hanging around trying to get level 6. Finally do get it. And I walk away. This is all I'm doing. Is a Bane or like a Warlock or whatever, where you just don't really do a lot before you have 6. You know, I was going to go gank at level 5 as Bane. So I'm level 6 here. And basically, you know, the exact specifics of what I do here aren't super important. The thing you need to learn is like, oh, you're level 6, go do something. And unfortunately, they go in my Tinker as I was walking down towards my Mars, which is whatever. I have my ult, so I come and try and be active, but unfortunately they show up with a lot of heroes. Not a big deal. But that's just the first thing you should take away, is like get your 6 in your lane, even if it takes a while, and then look to rotate, and it eventually works out. We use our ult to get a kill, and from this point on, we really just want to play with our Mars. He's had his ult for a little while. He actually has a really early blink dagger. I think he was having a solid lane. There's a lot of action up in the top lane, so he was having pretty free lane against Naga, I think. So we smoke him up. I don't have my ult, but I've got level 4 Brain Sap, and he's really strong. So what we're looking for here is just to make something happen off of his strength. We're just here to support and back up, and I believe this goes very well. So I really liked how I played this, and this was just waiting, because I really only offer one spell. And this is like deciding, where's this spell going to be useful? Do I need to just chuck it on the first guy we see? Or does my team have enough damage, right? These 2 heroes, this Lina and this Shaman, they just died full to 0 without me doing anything. I love how replay bugs are still a thing, like 4 months later. But Mars goes on them, gets them both, right? I could have, like, walked forward. I saw this guy TPing. He didn't just magically show up. I could have walked forward and gone to the Shaman, but I decided to just wait here. They don't know I'm here, because I haven't showed yet. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just, make sure this Dawn doesn't interfere with what's happening. So that's what I did. It just nightmared, and then I'm pinging the Dawn. I'm like, okay, guys, maybe we can kill him, because we had a bunch of heroes here. And we ended up taking him out. So I think a pretty good sequence. And what you guys should take away from that is wait till you get your 6, then go look to make a move. You can, even if you don't have your ult, you can still make a play if one of your cores is really strong and they want to do something. So I smoked that Mars even though I didn't have my own ult. Because there's not a lot else for Bane to do in the meantime, right? I can't really go push a lane out. It's pretty useless. So we made a play. It worked out really well, and we were patient during the play in terms of our spell casting. So this next sequence, I'm going to walk through pretty quickly. I have my ult, so I'm down here with my Invoker looking to make a play. I thought we could make a play on this Weaver. He kind of ran away. I was kind of wondering what my Mars was doing, because he has his blink and he has his ult, but he's not here. Like Tinker could clear the mid wave or something, and he's just kind of jungling. So I didn't flame him. Oh, I could have. It's kind of weird what he's doing. But I went, grabbed him, and smoked him up, and got the Invoker in the smoke as well. This is a play that makes sense. And just really quickly, it's important like who goes first in plays like this. Like, this is a Weaver, right? If he Sakuchis once, I actually don't have any detection. Our Invoker has a dust, but is a Weaver with his level 6. So it's going to be hard to kill if we don't, like, stun him right away, right? Like, he could easily just run away from us all. Maybe Mars catches him in a blink or something. But so it's really important who goes first and like what the plan is, especially when you're ganking these hard to gank heroes. So here, I think I should have been first, and my Mars kind of just ran in front of me. I didn't say anything, but I put this ward down, and we see the Weaver. And so in this scenario, I think my Mars just misplays. Like, if he's going to go first, like, he just needs to be spear. He just needs a spear. And instead, he doesn't do anything, and we completely lose him. And then the Weaver does show himself, but we don't even get him here because it takes too long. Like, if that's just a Mars spear into like everything else, like the Weaver dies, even if we all get cleaned up, and like they lose their sports or whatever. But the important thing to take away from that is like you have your ult, smoke up your teammate, even if they're like kind of playing passive, like go to them and smoke them up. That's what I did to my Mars. So that could have happened faster anyways if he just like not jungled. Like he was ready to make that play 20 seconds earlier and he just like didn't do anything. So go like get your core, smoke with them, and then go for the play. And then who goes first, right? If I'd gone first, that's super easy because I could just grip from like basically fog. It was nighttime. This Weaver did not see us coming. And I got the word on the high ground. We saw him first. Like he was 100% dead. I could have even started. I probably didn't even need to grip. I could have started with Nightmare, like Brain Sap, and then Mars Spears, and he just dies. So who goes first is really important when you're trying to catch these like heroes. So you got to think about that. Who is the best hero to start it? Who has the stun, the disable that's going to chain everything else? Here, this Weaver is just an idiot and hangs around when we have a bunch of vision. And notice when I go first, I just Nightmare from fog, and then he just dies. This is exactly what happened earlier. So who goes first? Really important. Also, if you're a carry player and don't hang around like your safe lane where they could have vision. I don't know. It's kind of a crazy play from Weaver. So I want to walk you guys through this sequence right here because what I was thinking here, I think is important for you to think if you were trying to get better or, you know, if you want to be like an immortal level player. It's important like that you're constantly measuring like, is this still a good idea? So here we're diving this tier 2 tower. They Dawn ulted. Our Mars is getting stuck. We do end up getting the Shaman, and we've got a lot of our spells, and we've got our Tinker here. So, like, I'll walk you through this slowly, but, like, still seems like a good idea, right? Still seems like a good idea. Shaman buys back, and he starts TPing in. Like, is this still a good idea? Okay, maybe we could have killed the Shaman if we finished that TP, so it was fine. And then he canceled his TP. So it's just important to think, is this still a good idea? Like, should we back up now? Luckily, I think they just like didn't have their Weaver, because like I think the Naga was there. They just didn't have some of their heroes. But if they had had all their heroes, that could have been really dangerous for us. So really important to like think, should we still keep going or not? Lots of games are lost because people keep going when they really should have stopped. Here's an example of a play that goes wrong, and so we're hanging around. Me and Invoker are hanging around this area after that whole sequence has happened. PL's gone to farm top. Mars had died. Tinker's off doing his own thing, farming, and it's like, can we kill this Dawnbreaker who's just showing? And he's the only one on his team showing, which is like kind of dangerous. But we weren't gonna go. We were kind of walking away, and then he like hammers forward like this, and so I made the call since he like just jumped into us that we should go. And I was calling for Tinker, right? Tinker, come, because like we're not killing this guy without Tinker. But like Tinker, come! I'm gripping this guy, and we kind of get it started a little bit, but like notice that like Invoker does everything he can. He uses a Vessel Charge, he uses his EMP, but this Dawn is super tanky, and we just don't do damage. Like our support combo, this is a support Invoker, we just don't do damage. So like this is not Tinker's fault for not instantly being here. He actually, and this is not something I was aware of, he didn't really have the resources to come. So it's just a really bad call all around. Like if this gank is going to be dependent on your global hero coming, like make sure they're ready to do it before you look around. So really what I needed to be considering like here is like, is my Tinker ready if we were to go on this Dawn right now? That's the only question that I should be asking myself, and the answer is no. So this is a terrible play. Honestly, it's a terrible play. And this is just lacking awareness. So if you are depending on a global hero show up, make sure they're ready. Like it's not their job to be constantly watching. And if you're support, right, and you're like relying on this, because like in my head, I'm like, oh, I have a Tinker on my team, he can be here. But if you ever play Tinker, or any global hero, sometimes you're not ready to show up even if you could show up, right? You play Prophet or whatever. Just because like you could technically be there doesn't mean it's like a good idea. You might be like low on resources or whatever. So definitely not Tinker's fault. He comes anyways and he dies. And honestly, I was apologizing after this. I was like, that was a bad call. I'm sorry, my bad. And I find doing that actually helps. Like, if you can make a call and then it doesn't work, if you can just admit, hey, that was my bad, that was a bad call, people will be less likely to tilt as a result, right? Like, it's not like, hey, Tinker, you should have been there earlier, right? It's like, oh, dude, that was my bad. You know, they feel a lot better about it, being like, yeah, it was your fault. Like, they feel better about their own death, you know? It's like, okay, that wasn't my fault, it's okay. I'm not going to tilt out of this game. So, that was that sequence there, poor decision making, but we can learn from it, right? Make sure your global hero is ready before you call for them to come help you, or depend on them to be part of a play that you just initiate without checking to see if they're ready first. And this is kind of a key moment in the game where Tinker's died, our Mars actually died, defending that tower, which is unfortunate. And it's like, what do we do, right? They like kind of have the upper hand. Tinker's like respawning, but like we're not that strong, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of like thinking, okay, when are we like able to actually fight them? So I checked my PL's items. I don't know exactly when I did. It might not have been right this second. But basically, PL's like 500 gold from a heart. So I tell my team, chill guys, our timing is PL heart. That's the only thing that matters is like PL heart. Your carries as a support player, if you're trying to like guide your team, tell them what to do. Like telling them, hey, chill till we get core's X item, especially your carry. That's the key. So I got this smoke. I'm ready to use it, but I'm like, guys, let's wait until we have PL heart, and then we can go. So really important to be thinking about that in these downtimes, right? Like, I can't think about that in the middle of a team fight. They get a Roshan. I kind of had a feeling they were doing it, but we can't really contest because our PL does not have his item yet. So we're just chilling, and soon, as you will see, our PL gets his heart. So it actually, it's like very quickly, the PL gets his heart. We're not much later. Fortunately, it doesn't like walk to us right away, which was like kind of awkward. He's like, okay, PL, you have your heart. Are you coming or not? And we see this Naga, and we see Weaver top, and we actually had just seen Lina mid. So they're very split up right now. And actually, this is the real Naga. We like see this Naga like split. Like, there's the real Naga, right? So it's like, I think we should go on them, right? Like, shouldn't we try and kill this Naga, who did get the Aegis, but like Weaver's not here, or Lina wasn't here. It's like, should we do something? It's like, well, our PL has his heart and he's not here. So we made the choice to do it. I was like, guys, let's just like try it. I was like, PL come, but like they're split up. So like, just try and do something. So I walk first, really important, because I am a really good initiator hero. If I catch people, and we're not really sure where this Naga is, and we find Lina instead, which is like, you know, it's fine, it's whatever. And actually there is something happening in the bottom lane, which I didn't really realize at the time. And ideally, like, your PL shows up sooner. I was trying to get him to come. This doesn't really work out. But it's a really close fight. And I think the core concept here was solid. I think this was just kind of bad execution. Like, looking back at this, I don't think that we made a bad decision to engage. Like, I think if PL just comes a little bit sooner, then this play kind of just works. Maybe I should have like came and warded here with the words that I had, just to like make sure we see what's going on. But really, PL had the heart. Like we said, we were waiting for PL heart. PL had the heart, and that was like a minute ago. And like he's just now getting to the fight, which is like kind of weird. Like, if you're waiting for timing, just get the timing and then go. And this is a lesson for carries, which I've said in past carry videos, which you may not remember. But once you get your item timing, just go fight them, right? Unless you're like really, really, really behind. Like they had Aegis, but we weren't really, really, really behind. So the outcome of this fight is, unfortunately, so we get the Naga once. Or do we? No, we didn't even get the Naga once. Wait. How about we watch and see? Ba, ba, ba. Okay, we get the Dawn. I bought back, used my ult. Okay, so we got the Dawn, and we got the Naga once. So, at the end of the day, not so bad. Fortunately, the PL and Invoker, like, stick around, thinking they can, like, do something, but the Weaver is, like, still alive, so didn't end well. But we got the Aegis, and we got Dawn, who's, like, a really strong core. He was, like, their mid. So, I'm not so bad overall. And you can see with just a little bit better execution, that might have gone really well if PL had just been there. It's important when you think that, like, it's important to think about, was that a bad decision to fight? Or should it have just gone a little better based on a couple different factors, right? Not every fight that goes bad was a bad fight to take. And if you can kind of differentiate between those two, or at least do your best to, like, take a guess, like, oh, should we have just not done that? Or, oh, yeah, we should have done that. Like, I just wish it had gone a little better. These are kind of important distinctions to make. Just if you want to be immortal, like, you don't need every fight to go amazing, but if you make the right choices, things are going to go better more often, right? You're just increasing your chance, your likelihood that you'll win the fight if it's a good choice or not. This next sequence, I'll just say a little bit about this. Naga runs into us and feeds, which is great. But then we see the Dawnbreaker running away. And it's like, do we chase or not, right? And I make the call here, chase, because I have grip. I said, I can grip him if we can slow him down, so chase him. So my team does chase him. Because sometimes, right, this hero's just going to get away. Like, it depends on who it is, and, like, exactly how mobile they are. This guy had a BKB TP, right? It's like sometimes there's BKBs. Is it worth, like, spending 4 heroes time, 5 heroes time? We have all 5 heroes left. Is it worth spending 5 heroes time chasing this guy? So sometimes the answer will be no, and, like, you should recognize that and just be like, guys, don't chase him, just go fix the lanes, right? Somebody go shove out him, whatever. But here I have grip, so I'm like, chase him, like, he will die if I catch him. So we do. He might have died anyways without the grip there, I'm not sure, but the grip obviously secures it, so I think it was a good decision there. Good decision to say something, right? Chase him, we can kill him. My cats are, like, freaking out right now. This is another sequence where it's just like, how much do you get, right? They have dead heroes, how much do you get? And here, I was really sus about this play. I was like, they have Weaver alive, who's really strong. This Lina is really strong with, like, the Ags. He does a bunch of damage. And we had Invoker dead, right? And Mars isn't here. I was like, ooh, this is, like, could be really bad. But luckily, Weaver's not here. This was, I think, kind of luck. Because I think if Weaver's here, I don't know. I don't see this going super well, like, because I could die, and then if I die, like, it's easier for, like, Weaver to die or something, right? PL can't save, or sorry, Tinker. PL can't really save Tinker like a Weaver, so I don't know. That was, I think, a little sketch, but it worked out. We got the tower. Now they got additional heroes dead. It's like, okay, should we get this tower? All right, that tier 1 was easy. Should we get this tier 2 tower? And I told my PL here, right? They've got 2, these are their supports dead, right? We don't see anybody else. Mars died bottom to the Weaver. Our Invoker's still dead. So here I'm like, hey, PL, like, you should back up. Like, there's, like, we don't need this tower. This tower's not important. They've got really important heroes alive. So constantly thinking, right, should we keep going? Should we keep going? And even here, he was farming this, and I was like, dude, we should kind of get back. Like, they have, like, their whole team alive. If we get caught here, it's really bad. And what I did here is, you can see these circles. I said, don't fight top. We should go fight bottom. Let's back up. And so I started walking to where I said, and I said a couple different times. I wasn't, like, saying it over and over, but, like right here again. I was like, guys, don't fight top. Like, if you fight top, it's really bad. We can't all be there. I'm just kind of reminding my team, like, of the point of what we're trying to do right now, right? Like, I'm walking bottom, but at the same time, I'm telling my team, like, hey, remember, don't fight top, right? Because I see my Invoker hanging around. Like, what is he doing? Like, what does the Invoker think is going to happen if he hangs around top, right? Like, no one's going to die there. It's really dangerous for a fight to start. He could, like, bait Tinker in, and, like, they could all just die. Because, like, the rest of our team, I can't be there. Like, you know, it's just not a good place for us to be fighting, right? We could fight around, like, bottom. We have some vision down here. Roshan's going to be down here if we want it. So here, I had thought they had some vision in our triangle, so I was, like, checking. Unfortunately, our Tinker gets caught. What can you do? I thought I was going to die here, because when you D-ward right next to, like, another of your enemy heroes that just died, it's, like, it's kind of like suicide. So I thought I was going to die here. So I just instant DP'd. Because they didn't seem to be coming for me right away, which was really nice of them. I feel like they could have. And it's important to, like, just, you know, chill. Tinker's dead, chill. Don't do anything. And then when he's up, we can do something. And it's really, really important that you just chill. Right? Like, I think a lot of low MR people would just be like, oh, like, they've kind of backed up. Like, we cleared some lanes. Like, we just walk out of the base. It's like, have a game plan, right? Like, what matters at this point in the game? Team fights matter. Objectives matter. What objectives matter? Roshan, right? You guys don't know, but actually, I think I can type it in here, right? I think I still have it from this game. No, this was one before. We can backtrack. So we killed Roshan at 33:53 is when it ends up dying. And it was up between, like, 31 and 34. So Roshan's, like, basically up soon. So it's like, what is our next play if we're like strong, right? If we think we can like make a play, which we are. Like PL's got his item, he's got an Ags now, which is really nice. So when we're all alive, coordinate, and we can smoke and make a smart play for an important objective, right? So like we're just hanging out in the base, we're not leaving the base. Tinker's finally alive, and then again it's like, PL, can you get over here so we can like smoke? It takes them a while, right? This PL's like, they could be like hunting, right? And this PL could get caught. So we're finally here. I'm like, all right, we're finally doing it. We're smoking. And we just smoke and we go for the smart play, the smart Roche play. Really important, I think, when you're doing this, so like just get the words down, right? Unfortunately, the Tinker like blinks in first. This fight does go really well. I don't think there's too much to say about it. I used my W. I got a pretty good Dawn ulti off, and our Tinker bought back. Wait, did he not die? Just kidding, wait. No, he didn't die. That's crazy. Oh, I nightmared him. I'm pretty sure I saved him there, actually, guys. Did you see this? I didn't even realize that he didn't die here. That I nightmared him as Dawn's Q was going off, which I'm pretty sure saved his life. And then I actually gripped the Dawn, which might have saved him even more. I'm not sure. And then he just blinks away before the whatever this item's called, Gleipnir, goes off. Wow, that was sick. All right, I totally won this fight for our team. But I think the important thing here, right, is just that we waited, we didn't leave our base, and then we smoked as a team and made a play around a smart objective. I think we executed pretty well, but, you know, it is what it is. So we get the Roche. This game wraps up pretty cleanly from here. Well, actually, there's one more decision that we'll talk about. Okay, so the last decision to talk about is just whether we go high ground or not. And this PL actually asked in the chat. He's like, do we go high ground? And it's not like asking me, it's just like asking the team, right? And if you're not sure, it's good to ask. Like, if you're like, should we go high ground, should we not? Like, ask your team, see what they think. Because people will have good ideas, right? Or the bad ideas, and it'll go awful. But like, if you're not sure, see if somebody else feels more sure about it. So he asked, and I was like, I don't think so. I don't think our lineup high grounds that well. Like, technically Mars could jump in and get something good and cause some chaos, but I don't know. They've got the Dawn save, and Weaver like kind of does a lot of chip damage if he's not getting blown up. Plus they have Naga illusion, so it didn't seem a good idea to like siege to me. So I said no. We don't go high ground. I was like, let's just like look for a kill, get the lanes in. And so that's what we go to do. We just go to like, you know, kind of get map control. I walk up this hill. I'm looking to ward. I was looking to ward here. And then they're just here, which I think is crazy. So we get like this sick like double spear on the Naga and Shaman. And like, I buy back instantly because this is a really important fight. And we're like really strong, right? And I'm the first one that died in a half buyback. So if I buy back, insta buyback and start walking, like I can feasibly be there if the fight doesn't go like awfully for them. Like if it goes like, if it's like kind of close, if I buy back and walk in right away, like I should be there in time to like have some impact. So that's what I do. Walk back, and we just actually clean up this fight. So the decision here was like, I mean, they kind of just messed up in that they took this fight in the first place, because if they had just like defended high ground, it would have been good. But like PLS, do we go high ground? So just think about, should we go high ground here, right? And a lot of times this just comes down to what heroes there are. Like assuming everybody's alive, it comes down to what heroes they have. Sometimes you have good high ground lineup, sometimes you don't. So we could have gone high ground eventually, but we were just going to look for a kill, get good map control, and then go high ground. So that was the video. My first one in a really long time. Hopefully you guys learned something from this. If anybody even is still subscribed to my channel, I'm not really sure. But, you know, maybe I'll be back. I'm still not playing as much as I was before, so I'm probably not going to be making a lot of videos. Let me know if you, like, care if I make videos or not. You know, not that I'm only doing this for my own ego, obviously, not for you guys. But, you know, stroke my ego. Tell me if you want me to do more. If not, I'll just stop. But that was a video. Thanks for watching if you did. Thanks if you're still here. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody who's, like, subscribed, even after all this time, and is interested in the content. It's really cool. So, talk to you later.